Hi there, Algebra 2 again, Mrs. Krantz. And you know this is Zoe, resting, little girl, and three of her favorite gnomes. One of them is 3 times the size of her. And Carrot Top Gnome, which lost his face. Gnome in the middle, which is the only one left with a little bit of beard. Very large gnome, her octopus. I have gnomes all over the house. There's a gnome up there hiding. It's a New York gnome. Here's a gnome from Iceland. Gnomes are typically originated in the Nordic countries. I have a number of gnomes outside my house. Ooh, can you see one in the backyard? Oh, it's hiding. Guess how many gnomes I have outside the house? Front and backyard. Algebra 2, Mrs. Krantz. This is review number 2 for the quiz you're having this week. All right, you're going to get a little worksheet, 17 problems. We're going to do 3 of them today. Algebra 2, Mrs. Krantz. Love Algebra 2. Okay. All right. Rationals. Dividing, multiplying, subtracting, adding, and complex fractions. That's what we're working on. I plan to post this, I think, on Monday, April 20th, but I might wait till Tuesday, but probably not. And the quiz is coming up Thursday, okay, of this week. Quizzes over rationals. The first one I'm going to do is a division, all right? Do I need an LCD to divide? Hopefully you said absolutely not. All right, this is number 4 on the worksheet. We're going to work through it together. We're going to divide. No LCD for division or multiplication. Okay. Everything else needs an LCD. Right. What do we do for division? Remember, we don't divide fractions. We multiply by the reciprocal. Right. So I'm going to do the reciprocal of the second fraction. Right. And then what are we going to do on the first fraction? Well, we're going to factor. Anything with a minus or a plus needs factoring unless it just can't factor. Like 2x minus 1 does not factor. 2x plus 7 does not factor. 16x squared minus 8x factors. We're going to look for the greatest common factor. All right. What number do they have in common? The greatest number they have in common is an 8. And between x squared and x, they have an x in common. So the GCF is 8x. Then you're left with 16 divided by 8, 2. X squared divided by x, x. Minus, if you take the whole entire term out, you're left with 1. All right, so we did have to factor, but only one time. We have to flip for division to make it a multiply, and now we will simplify. When you multiply, you can simplify straight up and down. If you have the same factor in the numerator and the denominator, 2x plus 1's cancel. And you can simplify diagonally. So 8x's cancel. And I get a nice answer. The only thing left in the denominator is the binomial, 2x plus 7. And up top, what's left if you cancel the whole numerator? You have to put a... What are you saying, Hannah? A 1? Oh, you're right. Very good. There we go. Final answer. 1 over 2x plus 7. All right, that's number 4 from your worksheet. All right, now we are also going to do number 12 on the worksheet. All right. And again, you can do this along with me, or you can just watch and work on number 12 at another time. But we're going to do this one. This is a subtraction. It needs an LCD, okay? When you add and you subtract, you need an LCD. Okay, and then for complex fractions, you need LCD. All right, first thing though I need to do is factor. All right, I have to factor this trinomial. How do you factor negative 20 to add up to positive 1? That's x plus 5 and x minus 4. Factor. All right, next one just has a GCF of no number but x. And you get x minus 4 left. All right. So I had to factor both denominators. And now I need to find the least common denominator of x plus 5, x minus 4, and x minus 4. All right. Well, I need the monomial x, okay, x, and then x minus 4 is in both, but I only need it one time, and I need x plus 5. Here's my LCD. Okay. Now we do the comparison. We're going to compare. Right? What does the first denominator need? What is it missing? It has x minus 4. It has x plus 5. All it needs is an x. And you give that x to the numerator and the denominator. Okay. The next fraction, that denominator has the x. It has the x minus 4. It's missing, you got it, Thomas, x plus 5. All right. And now I'm allowed to subtract because I have the same denominator on both fractions. All right. So my denominator is the LCD, x minus 4, x plus 5. All right. The work is in the numerator. Now I have 9x minus, I have to distribute a negative x, okay, times x, that's negative x squared. Negative x times 5, negative 5x. Distribute. Okay. Then combine our like terms. I will write it in standard form. I get negative x squared plus 9x minus 5x is 4x. All right. And I have my denominator, the LCD. Okay. Now, if you get to this answer, this is sometimes the final answer, and you're all done, circle, finished, okay? But I think on this one, we can do a little bit more factoring, all right? I can find a GCF in the numerator. The denominator is already factored. Now, what can I take out? No number, but they both have an x in common. Right? Or what if I take out a negative x? All right? Then I took the negative out, and one of the x's, I'm left with a positive x. Right? And if I took the x out and a negative from the second term, I'd be left with a negative 4. I took a negative x out. Then I have an x, and I have an x minus 4, and I have an x plus 5. Right? And sometimes when you factor, you can do more canceling at the end. Right? X minus 4s, cancel. And anything else? Anything else cancel? What do you think, AJ? Elizabeth? What else cancels? X's. So then I'm left on the top in the numerator, similar to this, but not a positive one. I'm left with a negative 1. And in the denominator, my binomial, x plus 5. Final answer. Right. Last one I'm going to do is number 18, which is the last one on your worksheet. And then I'm going to have you work on. All right, this is a complex fraction. All right, you have the big fraction, then you have 1, 2, 3 little fractions. And then I just have a 1. Okay. Do I need an LCD for complex fractions? Absolutely, I need an LCD. Okay. Now, my denominators are 2, and then I have this 3x plus 12 and 2x plus 8. These two need to be factored. Okay. So here, I'm going to take out a 2, and you get x plus 4. Okay. Now, what can we take out here? What do you think? Ismet? What do you think? What comes out of here? I know you know. I think I heard you say a 3. And you are right. 3 comes out. Okay. So now, I need to find an LCD after I factor of 3, 2, and 2. And that is simply a 6. Okay. And then you need the x plus 4. So that is my LCD. 6 and x plus 4. All right. Now, The process that I use for complex fractions with this LCD is different. It's a bit different from subtracting and adding, okay? What I do is I don't compare, I distribute the entire LCD, the whole thing, to every term in the numerator and every term in the denominator, to the numerator and the denominator. So all 1, 2, 3, 4 terms are going to get this. All right, so I'm going to write, I think I'll go in green, the entire LCD, 6 and x plus 4, and put it on the top of the fraction if it's a fraction. Now here it's just times 6 and x plus 4. There's no fraction. Here it's times 6, and then I'll put x plus 4. And then I have times 6 and x plus 4. All 4 terms are going to get the entire LCD. Okay? And now, once you do that, you're going to get rid of the mini fractions. There'll be no more mini fractions. They will all disappear if we do it right. Okay, well, how does that happen? Well, we got to look. On the first one, all right, x plus 4's cancel, and we have 6 divided by 3. That becomes a 2, and you have x. So I have a 2x left. Plus. Okay. Now here there's no fraction, so I take 1 times 6, 6, and distribute that out. So I have 6x plus 24. Okay. Now what about the denominator? 6 divided by 2, that gives me 3. And now I have to take 3x and distribute it. I have to take 3x, I'll do it separately, and times it by x plus 4. We'll distribute that out in a second. Okay. And lastly, minus x plus 4's cancel. Then I've got 6 divided by 2, that's 3 times x minus 3x. All right. Now, we got to simplify that. What does that equal? Up top, I combine my x's, I get 8x plus 24. Denominator, distribute. I get 3x squared plus 12x minus 3x. What's that? Positive 9x. Now what? Well, this could be the final answer. All right. Unless I can simplify this even more. All right. Let's see. Can I factor? I did my like terms, I distributed, that's all done, but what about factoring? Up top, I could take out a GCF of, what do you think? Oksana in the back, Maya. What do you think? Dylan, RJ, is back there. All right. Lauren on the other side, Sam. I think you said 8. That's what comes out. And you're left with x plus 3. Now how about down in the denominator? The LCD, I'm sorry, the GCF, we're looking for a GCF. It's a 3, and what else? X, okay. Then you're left with x plus 3. All right, so now what? What can we do? We can cancel the x plus 3's. And our final answer is 8 over 3x. Okay, so this is a start here on your quiz review number 2. The quiz is Thursday of this week, and the quiz reviews are super critical. So if you can get those done, turn them in, and you should be all set for the quiz on Thursday.